Just talk with DJ Cappuccino. Your grandmother, around 8 years old, is sniffing a tear gas in the house. My younger sisters and brother, 6-year-old child, is sniffing tear gas in the house. Then the truck took us and dropped us Mafarana, where we stay today, Abukuku.
Where is Mafaran? They just give you go to the home state, or they just drop you off with your belongings at an open land. You were a normal guy
I'm a normal child.
who wanted to smoke and drink, who wanted to experiment with girls.
Yeah.
Now you see your grandmother crying from a tear gas.
Yeah, 8-year-old.
And they put you in a truck, take you to a sort of a place with no development.
I must get a time to revenge for this. I took the decision in the truck at the time they move us from the location.
You know, it's not the first time Pitan Chabeleng flags in this platform. And I think it's the son that is around, no, Prof.
Yeah, Alec. Our mandate was to render South Africa ungovernable.
Your matters and issues were now reported to the special branch.
That's right.
It means even Pretoria was aware.
That's right. That very night, the special branch raided at home. Just talk with DJ Cappuccino.
Welcome to another episode of Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino. Namunhla nitsake ngovu. We're so happy and honored to be having Masingita Emanuel Maakana. This is uMkhonto Sizwe, veteran. He will tell us all about his journey. Welcome to Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino.
No, Nakensa, I thank you for warranting me this opportunity. Yeah, I'm just privileged. I'm not best to my commanders. There are those who came before me. So I'm just one of those.
No, we really appreciate, with some of discussions we had before, I hope some of the subjects maybe will come in so that you can clarify. But tell us something. It's really, man. Where are you from? Can you tell us a bit of your upbringing, the community you grew up in? Akurinjani, mingene kwisikolo. Just give us a set, because I want the viewers to start visualizing.
Originally, iume eka Mhlaba. My family roots. My great father is Amos Maakana. He was a counselor to Chief Mhlaba 1. And then my grandfather is Frank Maakana, the son of Amos, who's my grandfather, and then he gave birth to Billy, who was the only son in his mother. So the old man married another wife. Because in my father's mother, when kids were born, they were 8, 9 years, they were dying, about 4, 5 of them.
At the age of 8, 9?
Yes. So until my grandfather jumped out of the capital of the Nkuna tribe, our people are suspicious. In fact, old people, when there's a death case, they have to relocate. Yeah, so we stayed in many villages. I was born in Nkwankwa. So, but later they moved to a certain village that was, the people were later removed from that place. It later became to be Niti Sita Nkwankwa, Abakoleka Majomel.
How old is Nkwankwakas?
Nkwankwa. Oh, you ngaba yena 60 something years. because I was born in 1964 in uMkhonto. Already it was established in that clinic. So it's more than 60 years. So they moved to Dan after the forced removals, Dan village. We stay there, and when financially you improve, in those days, you move to the location in Nkwankwa.
It's the ultimate goal.
That's right. So our family moved to Nkwankwa. By that time, it was the suburb of the town we were staying next to the tennis court. So my father was a pastor of Assemblies of God. That's another reason that made us to move from place to places. So it happened that there was a problem at home. My father and my mother, they both left us with our grandmother. We did not know where is my father is.
They left.
Yes. My mother went to stay somewhere because they fought. So we happened to be raised by a grandmother by that time. So my brother, after passing a matric, the uncle took me and him to Guyana, but he left Guyana to look for my father. So he met a certain cousin, Abiamyambo, whom in 1976, he was banned from Gazankulu, not to set his foot in Gazankulu, in the then Gazankulu.
How old is Gazankulu?
Gazankulu is around 1969.
Because I know that where I grew up, Putatswana, it's the homeland is 1977.
So Gazankulu is around 1969, if I'm not mistaken. So when my brother met this cousin, he found him being a pastor. So that cousin said God sent him to Nkwankwa because by that time he was taught when he was later banned from Gazankulu. But they said he wanted to ban the school. I don't know what was his case really. So when he came back to Nkwankwa, that cousin of mine, the principal of Bankunai, this is James Table, heard that this guy is back and is a pastor. So,
That's the one who was banished.
yes. So DZ said, if that guy is a pastor, I didn't believe that God exists.
If God can change this one.
Yeah. So they invited him to the school. They gave him 5 minutes. He preached, and around 70% of the school were converted, including the teachers. So there was another high school in the location at Tsontsangos. So when the SCM teachers heard what happened in Bankuna, they invited him to Tsontsangos school. And then there they gave him more time. Almost 99% of the school was converted. And when they were converted, there is this Christian scenario. All those students were baptized with the Holy Spirit and they were speaking in tongues. And now when these children go home, when it's supposed to pray for food at home, now the child now starts speaking in tongues. It surprises the teachers. In around 1982, this
Serious movement.
these issues of tongues was not familiar or famous those days. So it engulfed the whole Nkwankwa location. To that extent that now after school they will come to church in our house. So I was in Guyana, but when the school closed, and then now I was about to be in the adolescent stage. That year I told myself that I will start smoking and drinking because now I'm grown up. So when I went to Nkwankwa, I get this friend of mine whom I left. Him on this December, no, I'm born again. I don't do this.
He speaks in tongues.
All of my friends, I was left alone. And at the church, they told me the church is at your home. It's the day I arrived. It's at your house. We are born again. I go to this friend, I'm born again. This friend, I'm born again. So in the evening, our house was full of the youth of the location. So because that whole December, it was church at home, even to the nearest villages. Things got worse when the schools reopened in 1983. Now, when they go to school, you still remember the assemblies where students gather and pray before going to class. Now, those students now started speaking in tongues and prophesying in the assembly. Now, the principal said, Kereke ya Maakana one side, Shikolo Shame this side.
We must separate church from...
Yeah, those who want to come to school this side, those who want to go to church this side.
Yes.
And the 99% went to Maakana's church. It means the school is out.
Church is on.
Church is on, they go to our house. And by that time, I delayed to return to school because of this confusion that is happening in my house.
You are smoking.
No, I did not start because now I did not have a backup.
You can't do it alone.
I can't do it alone. So I don't have a friend. Oh, every friend, my former friends, former classmates are speaking in tongues. So it was a daily thing. Now there was no more school. And when there's no more school it means it's a stay away. But not a political one. So they thought it's a political activity.
Oh.
They misread
The Holy Spirit is moving, they think, or no?
Yeah, these people, or my brother and my cousin are giving their children drugs. Because most of the parents took to their children, Baba is sitting again to take this thing out. Hey. So they did not succeed. And every parent was having a problem with his child. Wow. Until they had a meeting in the stadium and they decided that the solution is to close that house.
Your house?
The father is not there, the mother is not there. Then the truck, and before that, police could come. Because when the principal said, Kereke Maakana this side, she called this side, and then 99%
they
go
choose
to our house during the schooling hours. They started praying and prophesying in our house. So it warranted the police. I did not feel the tear gas in the street myself. I was not part of that thing because it is at home. Mind you, I'm having younger siblings. I'm sure our last born was 6 years old. So, tear gas at home. When the others run away, they are running away to their houses. So, man,
DJ Cappuccino.
grandmother, around 8 years old, is sniffing a tear gas in the house. My younger sister said, brother, 6-year-old child is sniffing tear gas in the house. Mind you, it's our house, it's our home, where we run to.
Or the police dispersed people.
Yeah, but they shoot the tear gas inside the house.
And your grandmother, 8-year-old, is there.
Yeah, and my younger brother, who was 6 years old, is in the house. I didn't have a problem with the arrangement. But because it was a confusion, nobody understood what was happening. That even the pastors were confused. It's only one pastor, Moses Shipalana, who was coming near, trying to help. But the other pastors, they did not show up. So our house was closed down. There came a truck. Ekaba kokwangwe ikwini mafarana, abukukwali nakikai mafarana. Then the truck took us and dropped us Mafarana, where we stay today.
Where is Mafaran?
It's next to Litzdale, on the way to Palabur.
They dropped you there. You must be out of location.
That's right. With our everything. So my mother came to join us. And then we have to look for a stand to build some houses there. And according to the ages, we are 6 at home.
Sorry to come in there. I just want to paint that scenario. They just give you go to the home state, or they just drop you off with your belongings at an open land.
No, in my grandmother's stand,
Okay.
my mother's mother.
She had a little house there.
Yes, they just drop us in that yard. So she had 2 houses, Rondavel houses. So that means we have to squeeze in one room. And then we build them kukunyana.
I'm sorry. I don't want to miss the parts. And then I'm doing this deliberately.
Okay.
When you left, you had to get into the truck.
Yes.
What do you remember about that moment from Kwankwa to you are a boy?
No, I'm a boy and a soccer player. I was a striker and a very good. I score goals. I want my team 3 to 4-0 down. When I come up, who will win? Because I scored goals.
And here is you in the truck.
Now it's me in the truck. And then the problem of the police, because they should have dispersed them out of our home and dealt with them in the street. But they did not do that. They just threw tear gas in our house. And it takes some hours to subside. So it built an anger in me. Because I'm sniffing tear gas, but I'm not part of this. It's just it is happening at home.
You were a normal guy
I'm a normal child.
who wanted to smoke and drink, who wanted to experiment with girls.
Yeah.
Now you see your grandmother crying from a tear gas.
Yeah, 8-year-old.
And they put you in a truck, take you to a sort of a place with no development.
There's no water there. And according to our family arrangement, the one who's at the age of going to fetch water, it was me.
Now the anger is...
Yeah. And then again, we got a stand. Now I have to go and fetch the rocks in the mountains.
To build a house.
To build a house. That means water and 5 wheelbarrows per day. When I go to the soccer practice...
You are tired?
After school. No, I forced to go to soccer practice. I found that he child.
And you were lifting rocks?
Yes. I did not practice. For almost 3 months. You know, in soccer, you drop form.
And I mean, where were you going to sleep? You must build a house with the stones.
To sort my house issue.
And all you remember is that white people came to your house to disperse you.
So, it was 1983. 84, okay, the house was built. But that time when I go to the ground, I was out of form.
Hey, sir, now there's a new striker on the block.
Yeah, I mean, it's a new team. I could not integrate because I was out of form. That strength was no more there. I missed poles, but I became a cow. That's right. So it built a certain anger. In 1985, now when I look at the political records, in January 8th statement, Oliver Tambo said we must render South Africa ungovernable. So I had some boys who had relatives there by Shuluwane, Juliusburg, Mahabeni. That day I went to my granny there. They are comrades. What are comrades? No, these guys who are fighting the government and the police.
They are fighting injustice.
Yeah, so when by that time I was not politically conscious. I was just an innocent.
You didn't even know you can fight this thing.
Yeah. And mind you, when I grew up, I was swallowing and consuming the propaganda in the news, in the radio. I was part of the people who were hating the terrorists. So, but now things are changing. Now I learned that no, they are not terrorists. They are freedom fighters.
You grew up with that thing that these
we
people are bad.
Yeah, we're listening to the radio.
A comrade is bad.
Yes.
The terrorist.
Yes. Because we were consuming what the media was giving us. So now when they told me that these guys are fighting the police, now my scratches, my wounds were...
You were like, these are my people.
Refreshing.
These are my people.
I saw the police at home shooting a Teargas in our house. When I was in the tracker, I said something in my heart that I must get a time to revenge for this. I took the decision in the tracker the time they moved us from the location.
One way or the other.
Because I knew what was going to happen. I'm the one who's going to fetch water. The rocks came later when I faced them.
In Kwankwa, there were taps.
Taps. There was a house.
They were flushing toilets.
Yes, flushing toilets. No pit toilet.
Now they are removing you from luxury.
And of my mother's side were better people. Imagine the humiliation from the location to the rural areas.
And you must start by collecting the stones.
Your peers will say, yo, what wankua.
Even when you visit Kwankwa, this is that one of
Yes, Maaka.
Mafaran in the village.
Yeah. So, that's how I sent those boys that, no, go and inquire for me. How can I join?
With the Juliusburg movement.
That's right. I did not know that there was an underground structure that was called Shuluvana Youth Congress. It was under the Chabeling unit. Chabeling unit.
Yeah.
There by Skukuni. Peter Chabeli.
Wow. So they
were
ANC
underground.
Could communicate from there.
That's right. The ANC was having underground structures.
Wow. No phone, no WhatsApp.
That's right. So they linked me to that structure, and I presented my case.
Or guys, I want to be here.
They gave me 3 days. And then
Please tell me about the presentation. If you can
no,
still
I
recall.
told them about myself that I'm coming from Kwankwa. I heard that we are fighting with police, so I want to join you because I saw the police at home. So, well, when they investigated, they find that it's true.
Yeah, indeed, this
Yeah.
is this the
Now
right
I'm
necessary anger we need.
Yeah, I'm just looking for an opportunity to revenge because it can't be left unaddressed. Because my life is disrupted. I could no longer play soccer. And I loved soccer. So this one of the girlfriends is worse. Because now, it's a humiliation, in fact, from being evicted from the location to Nkwa. Psychologically, will even have a low esteem.
It's a downgrade.
Downgrade, that's right. So we have to face that in the whole family. So they accepted me and I got some group of my peers. So we used to travel. It's around 25 to 30 kilometers to every Friday we could walk on foot to that place. There was a place in Juliusburg that we called Lusaka. There was this comrade, Sam Mushwana Kashilawe, who ended up being my commander. He was holding political classes there every day. I mean, every Friday.
Oh, so they would keep you for a weekend.
That's right. So we're going there, Yahabula. That weekend, the following day, we go to Mahabei. Mind you, that area is an area of Jerome Mark, Commander Jerome Mark, who went to exile 3 times and Robben Island 3 times. So he's still alive. So that's where we're taught now. That's how we're taught politics. And I caused the first strike in that peaceful, remote village.
They didn't know
They did not know the striking. What they knew is that the strikes are happening in Gauteng. And mind you, I'm with my younger sister in that high school. So when we caused the striking, the leader is Manuel. She reported to me at home. You have started now, it was your brother, now it's you. Because my brother was neutralized. Now it's you are starting. Mara, vana va mina how mile ku ni vonisa yini mara? Mi ta ni dlaya hi mbilu, man. So it was just the case because that time COSAS was banned. So there was a mobilization that was made that the high schools will strike to protest. It was on the 23rd of September 1985. That strike took place. So even my high school participated in protest of the banning of COSAS. I was leading the strike now. I was in the forefront because I wanted to settle the score. That's why this thing of hiding, to tell you the truth, myself, I was not hiding because I wanted to fight them. 9-9. Yeah, the underground issues became the thing of the past because now we could engage them. Our village is strategically situated on the R529 road. When we block them, that means the economy falls because the trucks of that big citrus fruits, they pass via my village. So that's how I joined. We formed the structure, uMafarana Youth Congress. We mobilize the youth now and we're gaining momentum. So, because now you have to convince the youth to buy your story from the youth, you must have older people to buy your story. So, we're attending high school in another village, around 7 kilometers to 10 kilometers away from our village. While ever since the beginning of our village, every household per year have to make sure that they pay 20 rands to build a school from 1960 something up to 1985.
Before you go to that part, sorry to interject, I want you to link that Youth Congress of 85 with Peter Mokaba Youth Congresses and that flag which was moving from school to school, because that is one history which is disappearing.
Yes.
There was a flag
Yes.
which was moving with, from one school to strike to the next school.
That's right.
So I want you to touch it, link that Youth Congresses with Peter Mokaba, because it's
Yeah.
old.
So ourselves
Speak to
there.
him. Speak to
Okay.
him.
Ourselves there. We were coordinating with other high schools. That's why we did a strike in uniformity. It was not my high school only. It was different high schools in one voice. So maybe the flag moved to another high school in myself because my village is a little bit more remote, far away from these other ones. It's around 25 to 40 km from where the activities were happening. So we used to go there to get the mandate and mobilize the youth around the villages around us.
You would go to Shiloban
That's right.
to get the mandate.
That's right.
That is 25 kilometers.
To
Walk back to your
30 to
village,
40 k's.
then distribute it to other neighboring villages.
That's right. Who are that side of mine on the eastern side.
I think what Prof is asking there, the link between also Shiloban and with Bopita Mokaba.
Yeah, Shulubana Youth Congress, if you check the records, it was part of the underground structures that was linked also to the structure Shasaba Pitan Chabeli. Because out of that structure came out many youth congresses that were under Saiko, under the presidency of Peter Mokaba.
You know, it's not the first time Pitan Chabeleng flags in this platform. And I think it's the son that is around, no, Prof,
Yeah, Elek.
who must come, I think,
Yeah, Elek.
really
Yeah.
come and share information.
Yeah,
with
Elek
us.
is still alive. We're with him on Sunday in the General Council here by Nirvana.
Call him after this.
No. So I'm coming to Pitan Chabeli.
Okay.
So as events were unfolding, because now we could disrupt, our mandate was to render South Africa ungovernable, to make sure that the international community, when they will look at border, they could draw a conclusion that you could not rule without a barrel of a gun. So that was our mandate, the youth of that time. And this generation, I'm even making a plea to the revolutionaries. It's one of the generation that is not counted. When they struggle, whatever, they end up in 1976.
They
And
don't talk about this gap.
this 85 generation, I mean the 80s, We are the ones who changed the course of the war. Because we were involved in Release Mandela campaigns. Although our parents could tell us, wa Mandela nge humi man. Mandela dilika jele. You are mad, mitwembangi. And we could start popularizing his name. Because to mention the name of Mandela was a taboo. So it was our generations that we used to sing even in the night, the slogans. And we say, Viva Mandela, release Mandela to the communities, of which it was a taboo.
People had to believe.
That's right. So we conscientize the people. So let me go back to the sector of my village a little bit. So while we were planning, even at school, there were 4 villages who were attending there. But they knew that the troublemakers are from my village. So the principal decided to put a fence around the school so that when he called the police, they can even
It's a net.
grab one of them. So he made a mistake of telling us because we were thinking that is a school's development when they put a fence.
Can't it's a prison.
So he told us in the assembly that no, I have put this fence so that when you strike, you will not be able to run away when I call the police. So we said, oh, that is the case. I mobilized the youth in the evening. We removed that fence and put it in his door, office door. So he came in the morning, there was no more fence. And he opened the case and said, Ibafana vale mafara. And it was us, it was true. But legally, no one saw us. And then what happened? He called the police. And that time when the police came, they arrested every boy. They will take you to a certain camp and beat you for 3 weeks. Or a month, yeah.
Stagnant.
Yeah, so as a result, because we are from a mountainous village, the mountain was our stronghold. When the police came, we go to the mountain, and they cannot come there. That's how we're problematic.
You would sleep there, maybe.
Yes. And cause trouble. Block the road.
Go back to the mountain.
Or go back to the mountain. So we're making life difficult for them. So until 3 days, and then we said, no, man, let us blow the trumpet and call the parents. We have a case here. So we blow the trumpet from the Induna because my friends were the sons of the local Induna.
Those that you conscientized.
That's right. And the command post, it was the Induna's house. So we called the parents and told them that there are 4 villages that are attending schools there. But because the fence is cut off, the principal have singled out us from Mafara. And you know village politics. There are parents who have issues with that arrangement. So another old man jumped out and said, yeah, he insulted the father of the principal with his initiation school names and said, Amulandra. And they went to the principal and he cancelled the case. So we have to receive the feedback the following day of whether are we returning to school or not. When they presented the feedback that no, the principal have cancelled the case, you can go back to school tomorrow. So we said, yes, we clap hands for that, but we have this issue. Every year you are paying 20 rands, and it was too much that time per household for high school. From around 1962 until 1986, we think that money is enough to build us a high school, so that we must attend high school here. We leave those people who hate us there. So that means by next year, January, the high school must be open. Otherwise, we'll ban someone. And they went us to report us to the special branches. Now trouble started now.
Real trouble started.
Yes.
No problem. Eh? Yeah.
Episode here today.
And what will I like, man?
Stand by. 3, 2.
You mentioned that now your matters and issues were now reported to the special branch.
That's right.
It means even Pretoria was aware.
That's right. That very night, the special branch raided at home. Unfortunately, I was not. I did not sleep at home. So everyone in the household, they have to feel it. Now my father was around because he later came back. It was later when I hear Commander Rapul that says, no, Maakana was part of us. But I was surprised when he attended our meetings when we formed the MKVA. Say,
Oh,
Papa.
they were aware of you in even leaders in other parts.
Hey. So, but let me cut this one of my father.
I want this nkatazo of the branch.
The special branch. Now they will beat him. You are a pastor. You don't know where is your son. You know, they kick the doors where my sisters were sleeping, throwing the blankets away. That is dehumanization.
While they're sleeping.
Yeah, so my family endured that. Of which that 6-year-old brother, it affected him. To that extent, even at school, he was not doing well because he was confused.
The Teargas one.
Yeah, I mean, a 6-year-old child is still coming, trying to understand the world. Now you start by being in a conflict. And now you are stigmatized because it was known that we were chucked out from the location.
Now you are causing trouble in the village.
And they said, beware, they are coming that side. So that means every child, every siblings was facing a stigmatization at all. I remember I was the one who was addressing the horror about the children sleeping in the mountain. When we blew the mountain, every parent came down. Even my mother came. So when I stood up, she took that songa, checker, that covered her face.
Mwananga.
So we told them that we want a high school. So they went to report to us. So the information escalated up until to the chief minister and Ntsamwis. So fortunately, when it reached Ntsamwis, he said, I know the comrades are burning schools. But these ones who are looking for a high school, what are you waiting for?
This is a good cause.
Go and build that high school. Even today, the high school is there. Although I did not attend to it because I was already on matric. So something about my generation, even when we strike, we told our comrades that we are not striking against books. We are striking against the system. But we must study. That's why all of my top 5 in that time who got exemptions. When we disrupt the school in the evening, we'll go and study. And we told the students that unobara sikolo sitwile mara ri a bala. We will study.
High discipline, high morale.
High discipline, high moral. We have to balance these things. That's why of my generations, there are few people without grade 12. That generation of mine, of ours, of the 80s. A very responsible generation with the unpretended comradeship. Not what we see today. Selfless. So I remember after passing a matric, I did not have a space to. No, the first year, my matric, 1986, I failed, but I don't believe that I failed. I failed because I was in a blacklist. So, the following year, I was not allowed to repeat in 1987. So, in 1988, I went to the principal and gave him options that I have 2 options now. To go to school or cross the border to go and join the military wing. And it means that when I come back, the first stop will be knocking at your door.
Those were the threats to the principal.
Yeah. So he called all the teachers. They hold the meeting the whole day. They called me around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They admitted me with some restrictions that you are not going to trips. You don't stay with more than 3 students. You know those restrictions. So I just agreed. Then they enlisted me. And by that time, things
1988.
things were cool. There were no more mass actions by that time. The ANC was issued another mandate because 1988 was the year where a resolution was taken that there have to be more escalation of the armed action. And also the battle in Angola was gaining momentum because the Battle of Kute-Kuneval was concluded on the 28th March, 1988. The same day with the Battle of Mutale. Our soldiers fought for 3 days, 9 against more than 500 soldiers. They held them for 3 days. We had 5 casualties. And then the 4 managed to escape.
You can put it down.
So, in 1988, that's where I passed my matric. 1989, I went to look for a space. I remember going to,
1989.
yeah, I remember going to, there was a college in Soshanguve, man. I forgot its name. That College of Education in Soshanguve. What did they call it? Yeah, I forgot its name. I went there with my friend, late friend Clayton Shiwadze, may his soul rest in peace. The son of the Induna was my best friend, my right-hand man. We wrote the interviews and we passed. But they could not admit us because we were Shangans. Now, and we gathered those who did not make it. We started another trouble in that college now.
You went to the college?
Mm-hmm.
You're not admitted.
Yes.
Now you start.
But I passed the interviews. We wrote the aptitude test. They gave us the reports. 95% pass. But we cannot admit you because you are a Shangan. You must go back to Gazankuru.
Go back to your homeland.
That's right. It sounds unfair to me. Now I mobilized those ones who did not make it. Some of them failed because we could not handle it being told. We caused trouble in that. They were called TUT or what? TCE. China College of Education, yeah. Transvaal College of Education, that's right.
It was Transvaal, ne?
Yeah, TCE. Yeah, so we caused troubles there for almost a month. We even went to the regional director in Pretoria. His name was De Villiers. And we forced in, we stayed at the gate until they called us. And then we told him the problem that you guys used to preach, says, education first. So because there are not enough colleges in Gazangu, now you tell me that you don't admit me because I'm a Shangan there. So he said, no, go home, we'll settle your problem. Because we're not even afraid to confront whosoever.
Now you must remain in your homeland.
Yeah.
Develop in your homeland.
Yeah.
And work there. That was the
Yeah.
strategy of apartheid.
That's right. So later I went back and then put my applications. There was new college that was opening, the Gyan College of Education, under vets. We were admitted there with my friends, with my friend Leto, 1990. Okay. After some 2 weeks, the authorities called Clayton and withdrew his admission. And mind you, the peer group pressure. Me and him were like this. They unfairly removed him from acceptance. I'm sure they discussed that you can't put these two boys in one school.
Let's find a way to separate them.
That's right. I'm sure that was a resolution. I just suspected. And it was that time where also the struggle was gaining momentum in Gazangu. Now the people started to be dissatisfied about the leadership of Ntsangwes. So I'm in the College of Education. My friend has been withdrawn. When you go home, you find that there's already activities of boycotting Ntsangwes' businesses. So he had a garage in Nkwankwa. So one weekend when I go home, I look for my friend, but no, he's in Nkwankwa. When I went to Nkwankwa to his relatives, he's staying there by the garage. He's preventing people from pouring petrol in Tangwisi's because he was angry. So when the others were hiding, he was not hiding. He was standing right in the garage. When the car comes, he will tell it, no, we don't put petrol in. So I joined him, started preventing people
Penny.
from putting the petrol from Zangwisi's garage. So the police came and scattered us. You know, this thing of police, it was many times. I'm sure in my house, they came more than 30 times. Unfortunately, they were not finding me. You know, there is this thing when your conscience tells you to stand up that time. That is nature. So if you are supposed to go and something says don't go, don't ignore it. So that's where I survived. And then there was that long strike for removing Zangwis. I was part of it. Beaten many times in the action, in mass actions, I remember.
Which year was it?
1990.
Because I'm trying to not lose track so that we can connect it with you going to exile.
Yeah, I'm going there. Because myself, I wanted to be a professional somebody.
A teacher nyana or something.
Yeah, you know, those lines. So, but the problem is, they are looking for me in the college. They are looking for me at home. And I always survive. And one relative of mine who was a policeman said that we took a decision that if we can meet you somewhere there are no people who are going to kill you. Because you are causing troubles and we don't get you. But wherever you are, there is a strike. Because even in the college, I was adopted to Sansco before it was called Sasco. In a first year, top 5, they co-opted me. And then first year, during the elections, I was in the SRC, being a fresher. So when those things were unfolding, now it was tough. Although the ANC was unbanned, but to those who have been here, life was unbearable than those who are coming from exile. So, the last day, they came at home in the evening, during the night. No one had them at home. They only had them when they did not find me. Unlike the other days. So if they found me that day, because no one had them, they could have taken me without anyone noticing.
You would have disappeared.
I would have disappeared. So, unfortunately, they did not find me. So that's how now we started looking for the ways to come out. And there was a call to join a regular army or a conventional warfare army to MK by that time have to move from guerrilla warfare because it was negotiation time, and then to a conventional warfare, a regular army like the army that was here in South Africa. So I had to opt to join that initiative. That's how I went to Tanzania. Yes.
Oh, so during negotiations, the MK saw it fit
That's right.
that let's train an army that can fight, that is trained, because you were trained, like those before were trained guerrilla warfare to sabotage.
Fight, yeah.
But now they were teaching you how to fight. Fengu.
Yeah. According to military science, ne, there is many warfares. There is psychological warfare, guerrilla warfare, conventional warfare, and other types of warfare, cyber warfare, those stuff. So, after Resolution 435, at the end of the Angolan War, the negotiations between the Soviet Union and the Americans towards the end of the Cold War decided to freeze all the conflicts that are related to the Cold War, including the Angolan War. Although the Boers were defeated in Angola, but the United Nations Resolution 435 required that the MK have to withdraw from Angola. Resolution 435 included the withdrawal of foreign forces from Angola. Maybe I could explain how did we end up as an MK in Angola. When the military camps were established, it was not only the MK those years. The MPLA in Angola, Frelimo, both ZAPO and ZANU. Most of these countries were hosted in Tanzania, even APLA. So, the Tanzanian politics, socialism was aligned to China that time. So we were aligned to the Soviet Union. And we were the charterists. And the other libertarians. I forgot the part here, Pitan Chaveli.
Around before the special branch.
During that time.
During that time. I think you'll find a way to incorporate
Yeah, of activities, because there are a lot of activities that we were doing.
Yeah, now, let's restart from the special branch.
Sharp.
And then the issue of the school in there. Okay, take.
Now the trouble starts. The special branch is notified of your activism. You are hectic. Tires are burning. People are conscientized. What happens now?
Yeah, one day when I went home, the following day of that community meeting, because we had to convene and make a postmortem of the whole thing. So we have to go to our command post in that house, the Induna's house. So we slept there. Early in the morning when I go to bath at home and collect my books to go to school. Because we made sure that we go to school, we don't drop out.
Wow.
We were balancing these things. So, when I get home, I find my mother did not go to work. My father also was around. And everyone did not go to school. They say, now we are waiting for you because the white people were here at the special branch. They closed the next door street and the other next door street. And then coming to us here,
Looking for you.
looking for you. They said that immediately when you arrive, we take you to a third floor in Teargas in Tzaneen, or it's a second floor or third floor. I have never been there because they never caught me. So, my father said, I'm ready, just bath and I have to take you there. So I asked him a question. Did you hear that I killed someone? Or I have stolen anything from anyone? Or I have committed any criminal offense? Because yesterday we were in a community meeting. What wrong did we do? He said, no, nothing. So why are the police and the special branch? Said, no, I don't know. You know, these people, they just come and harass me and everybody here. So I said, no, what is your take? Because I allow you to take me when I've stolen from someone or I've killed someone. But now I'm getting late. I'm going to school. So I bathed and took my books and school bag. Went
You were
to
not concerned they can come pick you up at school.
No, the way my class was, I made sure that my school desk, where I'm sitting, I could see the gate of the school. Because there was only one road for the cars to come to school. Yes, because it was in a little bit bush. So there were no houses before, but now there's a residential area. The school is surrounded now. It was before it was a settlement. So when I saw the car that I'm suspecting, immediately when it approaches, before even it can reach near the school, I will approach the teacher to ask to go to the toilet. To excuse me, I'm going to the toilet, say I'm pressed. Then I will come out. So, but this is the day when they came. So I did the same thing. And then when I reached the toilet, I saw the teacher leading them to my class. Now, the toilet was a little bit far away from the classes. And then from there is a bush and then to the mountain.
The mountain top.
Yes. So, because when I go to the mountain bushes, you will not see me.
So did you complete high school?
Yes, with exemption. I passed with exemption. I was a history student. That was my specialty.
And what happened? You wanted to study further?
Yeah, I wanted to study further. But because of the accommodations and money, I ended up doing teaching. I dropped out doing second year.
Tell me, you went. I want that transition from high school. Where did you go exactly? Which college did you go to?
I attempted to go to Transvaal College of Education in Pretoria because of already my political awareness. I did
Social
not want Gazankulu schools. So we wrote aptitude test, we passed with my friend, Clayton Shiwadze. May his soul rest in peace. And they did not admit us because we were Shangans.
From Gazankulu.
Yeah, they told us that we must go to Gazankulu. And then we said, no, the colleges are full, we have been there. We were not admitted. That's why we came here. We caused trouble in that school where we are not students.
What happened?
We mobilized all those who failed the interviews who were not admitted. But we knew others, they failed, they can't make it. But
You used them?
we used them because all of them were Shangans. We're not only two. So we're victims. So we had to make them to run for their bread. That if we are not admitted, that means there will be no classes until they call the police to harass us. So we went to Pretoria to the man who was a regional director, Vargi de Villiers. And then we spoke to him. The unfairness. And we say your government says education first, freedom after. So where is education first here? We wanted to send this message to them. So I'm sure they were noting us because the following year when we admitted in Guyana College of Education, me and my friend, because we will always go together.
You were leading the discussions and the meeting.
Yes, me and him were strategists and doing everything that was happening. We could sit and discuss even before the top 5. Yeah, he was my deputy. So
You went back to Guyana?
To Zanini, and we applied in Guyana College of Education because we heard that is under vets. So it's not a bush education. So we applied there. And then we admitted, me and him. But in 2 weeks, they removed my friend's admission. I'm sure they were told that you can't allow these 2 boys in one institution.
They'll create trouble.
They will create troubles. They created trouble in high school. They went to TCE. They created troubles. And also invaded the headquarters of the Department of Education. They wanted to harass us in the department, but we stood our ground. We blackmailed them. We said, you said education first, freedom after. So we are here looking for an education.
Do you want us to look for an alternative?
Or you want us to go to look for freedom? So he took our names. So, but when we were admitted, my friend's admission was scratched off, and it was during that time where the people were starting to rise against the homeland system. That's right. So the community have decided to boycott all Ntsangusis, the chief minister's business.
Okay.
So when my friend was removed from the college, when he heard that people are closing Ntsangusi shops, he did not go and stay in Mafarana. He stayed in Nkuankua. The other comrades were hiding in those, you know, in Nkwankwa, next to the community hall, there are those big trees, fig trees there. And there's a garage here. It wasn't Sangusi's garage. It is still even now. So the other people will be hiding in those rocks of those big trees. But my friend was not hiding. Was standing right in the garage. Every car that comes, he will approach the driver. We don't put petrol here. So I joined him. So we're stopping people from putting petrol. That weekend, I moved from the college to visit home. Because the first thing I will have to look for my friend. Yeah, from home, and then it's your friend. And my friend is in Ukwangu. When I got him, he was stopping cars from pouring petrol. So I joined him. We were not hiding. We're saying, no, we don't put petrol here. So the police came and then they chased us. And then we went away back to Mafarano. And the following week, there was no school. I'm sure it was around, that shutdown took around 3 to 6 months in Gazankul, if you still remember. So, yeah. So, but the police did not stop harassing me. They were even coming to the college to look for me. Yeah. So fortunately, there by the college authorities could not allow them to get me. So, because they were liberals, that college was run by the liberals. So, from that time, my mother cousin was a policeman. There was a family gathering at home, I'm sure. So he was there because of the family. He's a cousin to my mother. So when he saw me, he said, come here, boy. You know what? They're at work. We have decided to kill you if we meet you when there's no one. Because wherever you are causing troubles. Because there was already a strike in the College of Education. I did not wait long. So, that's where now I started thinking that let me leave. Because it is obvious I'm not going to finish my studies. One day they will get me.
And they will kill me.
So when I approached my comrades and those who were leading the underground, they said, no, but now, because people are coming home, the only option, it means you are going to join the regular army.
Sorry to come in there. Was Comrade Pitan Chabeleng aware of you?
No, because he died in 1986.
Oh, that's way before.
In my early stages of the struggle.
You're still building a house with bricks there.
No, the house was finished. The house story, it was
82.
1983, 84. Now 85, now it was the struggle in Isukile from why. So in 1986, the Peter Chabeleng story, there was a time subjected to correction where Chris Hani came and visited the 2 mountain special forces base in Palawara. You see that base for foreigners, 32 battalion in Palawara, the 2 mountain. It was a special force.
Now tell me about it.
So Chris Arney and other guerrillas, they raided that base. And then when
Excuse me, you mean the 2 mountains was an official
it's a military base,
for the South Africa.
the apartheid military base.
So Wokrisani went there and took arms.
Yes, they raided. I mean, they attacked,
Yeah.
and they did not reply and retreated. So when they came out to respond, they went to Lulekani and find the people dancing in the tavern. They threw a hand grenade and killed some civilians.
Wokrisani.
No,
The police.
no, the soldiers.
The soldiers, yeah.
Yes. Because to MK was dealing with the legitimate targets. That's why our struggle, there's nowhere you find us like in other countries, in DRC, where those rebels will come and shoot ordinary people in the villages. That was not our
And
warfare.
rape the women.
Yes, no, that's not what we were trained to. We're political soldiers. I will give you an example of Commander Jerome Mark. He was cornered in a certain house in Middelburg. Unfortunately, there was a pregnant woman. And those guys were coming. He realized that they are going to shoot down their house. They will kill this woman also. He decided to hand himself over for the sake of that woman. That is the caliber of our soldiers. That's the caliber of our warfare. So, Peter Chabeling, one of the comrades who died in that tavern, was Arun Muhlanga from Makwibilung in Zanini, there, next to my village. So the message came out. I remember I led my village. We collected the donations house to house, even in the neighboring village. So I took the donations to that place. I find that the funeral is surrounded by soldiers. I remember making myself an old man. I got the kettle head there. So I took the kettle and take the stick and bind the man I was holding in the stick like a shepherd. And then I passed them. There are hippos there. While driving the kettle.
With kettle.
Yes. Passed there. So take the donation to the family. That funeral, that was the last gathering of Peter Chabeling. I saw him there for the very first time and the last time of my life, because from that gathering, he was arrested somewhere, I don't know where, and he was killed. He was murdered by the security forces. But he addressed us in the graveyard. If I still remember, or in the family or in the graveyard, I don't still remember. One of the two.
Prof, are there books and material about this giant, Peter Chabeling? I feel like he has done a lot and it's...
Yeah, no, it's our task to have a book or have something about
Even a discussion like this.
a discussion like this.
There's a book, the brother to Alec has written a book.
The brother to Alec, ne?
That's the one that we are going to call.
The one we're going,
There's a
yeah.
book launched already.
Okay.
It was even launched. Teargas was the guest speaker at that night.
I think
Peter Mokaba
we
was-
really need to have him. Yeah. Yeah.
There are those who are mistakenly calling Peter Mokaba the Lion of the North. Peter Mokaba is not the Lion of the North. The Lion of the North is Peter Chabeli. Wow. Can I pause and cough?
And decision to exile.
So after hearing that cousin of mine, and by the look things are, I'm being looked at, I'm told at the college that they were looking for you here. And then when I made home, they are coming during the school holidays. So I saw that with my top 5, we say, no, man, you know what?
Speaking to the mic.
Okay. So with my top 5, it was a collective decision because I did not live alone. Clayton and Grisham Pakula left first through the University of Limpopo.
Your best friend.
Teflon. Yeah, Teflon. So the first 2 left. And then the following year. And when they left, their families put fuel into the fire. That means you are around here, you are in the college.
Our kids left.
We don't know
You
what
are the
are
one
they-
who started with this thing.
That's right, you are the one who... Unfortunately, my friend wrote a letter from Uganda. And you know the letters, there's a stamp, Republic of Uganda. And the siblings have seen a film of Idi Amin of Uganda, you know?
Now it's a problem.
Cool, yeah. Now their brother is in Uganda.
With Idi Amin.
And they don't know that Idi Amin is no longer a president
Yeah.
there. Museveni is the 3rd president from Amin because there was Milton Obote and Taito is a 4th and Taito Okello before Museveni. So that family was traumatized for their son to be in Uganda or is being eaten alive by Idi Amin or not,
Feed him to the crocodiles.
or whatever. So, hey, it became difficult for me. It became difficult for me. And the one comrade of the top 5, Aaron Mashele, who made a connection in the university for us to go there. So,
Yeah, Prof. Can you please usher the lady in?
so it forced me to accelerate the process of,
Going to exile.
yeah. So because Aaron is attending Teflon, his own pressure, and is a cousin to both of them. You know, people of the same villages. In fact, we are a family coming from one block. The troublemakers were coming from the same street. Yeah. In my grandmother's street, where we arrived. But when I grew up, before the whole family arrived at Mafarana, myself, I did not mention it, but I can mention this. When my mother gave birth to my sister, so at home when the new child arrived, they will say a child this and that and that. And that time I was the child. So I felt that my space has been invaded. So when my grandmother visited our family to see the child, now because my mother could no longer carry me, so my grandmother was carrying me. So when she left, I went with her to Mafaran. So those comrades who later became the top 5, we grew together in my young age because I was around 4 years. I remember we crossed 2 rivers with my grandmother. On foot is around 20 to 15 kilometers to my village from that side. And they gave me a head of goats to look after. So the sister to my mother took the peer of the same age to stay together. So those comrades who were at the top 5, we look after the goats together at a younger age in the mountain. And that's why I realized that it was in fact an abuse. A 4-year and a 3-year-old in the mountain where there are pythons, whatever. But we lived there. We look after the cattle. So it's another thing that maybe dealt with fear in my life at the early age.
Now, you moved to Tanzania.
Yes.
How do you live? I want, if it's possible, if you can recall the first day you arrived and how the environment was.
Because we first went to Zim. We crossed to Zim.
Was it through the underground channels? Or what happened?
Yeah. And then from Zim we were taken to Zambia. But let me talk about Zim. Zimbabwe was a Pan-Africanist country. We were not having enough space in Zimbabwe. They gave us only 3 streets to live, unlike the other liberation movements. So we moved to Zambia. We stayed there up until during the elections, where Comrade Kaunda was taken out. I was there. I saw it. I saw the pain of losing power. Those guys did not waste time. And the people were saying, we're staying in Kamanga, in Lusaka, Trafalgar. Not Trafalgar, man. Trafalgar is in Zimbabwe. In Kamanga, Avondale. Not Avondale, man. Charleston, in Kamanga. In Charleston, in Lusaka, yeah. So the people around there, they were saying, Kaunda have hired the special force too. But the MK have lived there for years. There's another point that I must not forget. History cannot be erased or stolen. The MK came out of the resolution of the ANC. You can't talk of the MK without talking about the ANC. Although there was a technicality where the MK was not registered in this trade, but CPIP, where they registered companies. But historically, those are government processes of registrations of institutions. But you can't cut uMkhonto Sizwe from the ANC. These guys are lying.
We will come to that.
Okay.
I want us to, now you arrive in Tanzania. What happens? What kind of military training do you get? What is it that you bring on? Because it's that time of transition, isn't it?
Yes. So when we were in Zambia, there was another commander who arrived from Cuba. So they have to prepare us. So he gave us a sort of a crash course there of a guerrilla warfare, because we could not sit and do nothing. And then when the elections were over there, now the new president chucked us out of Zambia. Now we went to Tanzania. We reached the military base in Iringa,
Which year was it?
1991, December. So, but the whole 1991 we were on the way. You will include your Tefluop, your Zimbabwe, your Zambia. That's right. So, we arrived in the military camp. The military camp that was assigned to train and transform the MK from guerrilla warfare into a regular army. So we joined there. We stayed almost 2 days in the camp. We saw there were other comrades from the nearby villages around there. We saw them, and then they said we must go to Dakawa in Morogoro, so that they must prepare for us. So we went to Dagawa, where others who were collected from other countries, Angola, wherever, were waiting to be repatriated. So we hanged around there. They were giving us a time to make a decision whether you go to military training or you go back home. So I said that I left the College of Education. I cannot go back home to go to school. Let me finish what I started. So I decided to go to the military camp with the other comrades. So we went to the military camp to continue training. We were trained by the Tanzanian People's Defense Force. Don't forget that by that time, Tanzania was rated number 3 in infantry, the whole world. Tried and tested. You remember they defeated Idi Amin. They pushed his army out of their country. The Tanzanian People's Defense Force. So, and don't forget that they are the ones who trained many liberation movements. So we're trained by the best. So, and we're trained in military science. Our training is different from what the SADF were giving black people here. You get my point?
Yes.
Yeah, their training was limited. So we did military science. That means all of our group who trained there, we qualified to hold any military rank. That's why most of the generals now are from my group.
So there's an era where there was a call from the ANC for everyone to come back home. I want to understand, where were you by then and what happened?
You know, it was during the negotiations. And in the negotiation table, you must have a bargaining tool. Like recently, the meeting between Donald Trump and Putin. There's a submarine that disappeared in Russia. The Pozesky submarine. That is a nuclear deterrence submarine. According to the INF Treaty, that submarine, it must be stationed where it must be seen by the satellites.
Also, if things went wrong, we were going to see the first nuclear bomb.
Yes.
So that's what was happening in the negotiations. You had an army being trained while we are negotiating.
That's right. So we're a bargaining tool. By that time, when they were saying uMkhonto, they were saying us.
uMkhonto,
Yeah.
welele ma.
So these weapons they are singing about, they are weapons that we handled life.
Oh, I want to capture how you felt when you were told you must leave everything and come home. Because you wanted to come and take over the government and fight. And now they say you must walk in empty-handed.
You know what? That time, we were not of the idea of the negotiations. We were not for that. You know, we were wanted to fight and ready to do anything. You know, death was not on the table. Because even the living conditions there are totally different from here. Totally different. You know, the people of that time, if I can put them by age, the generation that lived in my time in Tanzania is the generation that lived in South Africa around 1925. So their development was far behind us. And sometimes food can get finished before the supplies arrive. We have to eat what is there. I remember the other time, they took lactogen from Mazimbo in Dakawa, next to Solomon Mahlangu College of Education, because it was the school for the ANC. So the girls who were pregnant were taken there. So there was a lot of lactogen for children. But because people have repatriated, they took that lactogen to the base and
You had to drink the milk.
drink. We have to eat it with rice until we get addicted.
To
I'm telling you, and it became nice.
yeah,
I even do it today.
you are hooked.
Yeah, I do it. Because we're eating beans and rice every day. That was our meal. Beans and rice. So when the beans was finished, it was lectogen. No meat.
I'm going to drive this interview to where I'm going to open for you to say anything so that we can wrap up. But I'm taking you to where, after all these challenges, suffering, you are back home, transition, 1994 happens.
Yeah.
And until now, when we have uMkhonto Sizwe,
Let me go to the toilet.
so that when you come back, you clear that out, then we finish. Then I can lead him again. Right. Are you ready? Here you are. After all the suffering, lactogen milk, beans, eslatini, you come back, it's 94, we elect, we have the ANC in power. Fast forward, we have uMkhonto Sizwe party, and we also have the current ANC. We even have the ANC that is in a GNU with DA. Like, I want you to, I'm opening this blank check for you to just write what you want to write on it.
Because I was explaining where I was, let me briefly, maybe in 3 minutes, talk about the MK.
Just talk. Don't give yourself time.
Yeah. The MK was established after the resolution of the ANC when they realized in the 50s, late 50s, that the South African Communist Party is banned. And the banning of the ANC is on the way. It is imminent. So the uMkhonto Sizwe was established. And Oliver Tambo had to go earlier to establish the military bases. I can't go in details. And the military bases were established. The first MK operation ever outside the country, because the MK operated inside here. Let me clear out something.
There's this say, some are saying we kept the fire burning while those ones were away.
Yes, let me clear up something. The base of the MK was in a farm of a white man, because ANC is a multiracial organization. And the first man to put a bomb by that time is a white man. So we have a lot of white people who fought. I remember of the Brudestrom 6 who wanted to overthrow Botha, having our weapons. Those are our soldiers, white people. Do you still remember Hein Graskov,
Yeah.
who planted the bomb in the Debia Rugby or Ellis Park? The car bomb. There are many operations that MK, but I want to talk about one particular operation, one sacrifice. There was a time in Angola, as I tried to explain the Angola story, that the initial liberation movements were gathered in Tanzania before Mozambique, Zim could get independent. Even the Angolans, even the PLA was in Tanzania also. So there was this differences between, because of the political ideologies, the nationalists and the Pan-Africanists. So the ANC is a nationalist. We believe South Africa belongs to all who live in it. So there was this minor clashes until when Angola received independence. Augustino Neto leadership, they decided to host the MK from Tanzania to Angola to establish the training military bases there as the rare base. Because when we hit, we have to retreat and get supplies from there. And this issue of we ran away to exile is the people who are ignorant of the struggle. Because they don't understand the 4 pillars of the struggle.
What are those?
The underground movement that was also conducted by the MK. We have to physically come here to visit these underground movements, to give them orders for the MDM, mass mobilization. It's another pillar. Mass mobilization is mobilized by the underground structure. And then we have the armed struggle and the international community. So the mass mobilization will include your civil society, trade unions, United Democratic Front, your cycle, whatever. Those activities were run by the MK because we were the ones who will move from exile and infiltrate the country to bring the political material and give the political direction to the people in South Africa, to make the communication between the people on the ground and the ANC in exile. So this work was done by the MK soldiers. And we have to come at all costs. Sometimes we have to fight the army of this country. We had many skirmishes, especially here in Limpopo. We fought more than 100 battles here. Live. For an example, the Battle of Mutale and the Palale River that was led by Commander Rapo, where they were beaten, the SADF were wiped out. Yes. The Battle of Mutale, 9 of our soldiers fought more than 500 soldiers. They were 9. Yeah, they held them for 3 days. There is one soldier, it was on the 27th April, 1988, Carlton Nenguda, who held them for 8 hours, single-handedly, man. He did not opt to surrender. He fought until they killed him there by masses, next to the Battle of Mutal. But there was no single Battle of Mutal because it was the red zone from Limpopo River, and then you cross, you go to Bende Mutare, then you pass there by Bilen village, and you go to Masses. That was the infiltration road. So
And talking about infiltration road, in fact, I think there's still a lot we can actually dwell on that, especially that particular time with regard to even other members of MK, of uMkhonto Sizwe. who were planted by the special force. I think it's actually safe, but I want us to go here, please. Allow me. It's 94. How do you feel when we cast our votes and we are saying this is the new democracy?
Yes.
Were you happy with the conditions that were accepted by the ANC, CODESA, everything?
No. We were having a slogan that we were singing that time that says, Angola vaitete njane emlonyeni wale silwan baba tambo tuma masocha vazosko baba tambo tuma masocha ye tuma masocha vazosko Zimbabwe vaitate njane emlonyeni wale silwa baba tambo tuma bafana vazosko baba tambo tuma bafana. So yeah, because we were saying, how did they take Angola? How did they take
Out of the discussion.
Zimbabwe? That's right. How did they take? It was the national leadership that took that decision, especially of suspending the armed struggle. But this one of the negotiated settlement, as I mentioned before, that it was the result of the end of the Cold War. Our main sponsor, the Soviet Union, who gave us military hardware in Angola when the apartheid regime invaded Angola hunting for our military bases. When they were stopping Cutecuneval.
And you murdered.
Yes, they were surrounded in Cutecuneval. It was not out of de Klerk's free will to release the political prisoners.
You captured some there.
Yes, they were surrounded.
A lot.
Around 150,000 who were left of 350. Those Russian machines, the Russians gave us the military hardware that was matching the mighty South African army. The Russians, asibasekeje, battle tanks, air force, artillery, anti-air, whatever armaments, heavy artillery, even the air force, the MiG-21 was there. Later, the MiG-29, the game changer.
Let's go back there.
So, let me pass here first. I want to tell you.
Okay.
The enemy captured a province between Luanda and our bases because the MK's responsibility were taking care of the Northern Front. Because the enemy opened the Northern Front through Zaire, the DRC today, under Mabuto Sese Seko. So UNITA was also invading from the north, from Zaire. And while the apartheid regime and UNITA were advancing from Namibia on their way to Luanda. So that means the war was from two fronts. So the revolutionary forces decided that the MPLA, SWAPO, MPLA is the Angolan army, and the Cubans will take care of the South African army. And we have to take care of the Northern Front as the MK. That's why most of our bases were in the north. So the enemy captured the province between the supply in Luanda and the bases in the north. So in one of our military bases, food ile chafela dijo. Swakudya swi ve swi hela. they were left with one bag of rice and one bag of beans. So the commander said that because they were sending trucks to go to fetch food, they were not coming back.
Sending what?
Trucks to go and fetch some supplies.
Okay.
With soldiers, they were not coming back. Because there was a mountain that is like Mahoba's Kloof. They used to call it 10%. Because when you go, even if you can come back, but you will leave 10% of your personnel there, they will be killed. So until the commander decided that I'm no longer issuing orders, he said, I want volunteers who will go and fetch food and come back. And then, because we are left with 3 trucks, and then you don't arm according to our standards. Every soldier, you must go to the armory and take the weapon that will take you there and come back. So when he wanted volunteers, can you guess who was the first volunteer?
I think it's Soldier Maakana.
No, I was not there.
You're not there.
Yeah. It was a lady. I'm saying this because it's August. A lady soldier. She jumped there. So the other guy said, so 75 of them jumped.
What's the name of the lady?
I forgot. Those who were narrating the story did not tell us. So, 3 trucks, they went to arm. So there is this one guy who took his belongings to his homeboy and said, go and tell my mother. Uboni mokisheji. Ufike ekhaya ubatshela na wangishiya khona. That's where the slogan come from. Mind you, there's a movement in the military base. No one is seeing what this guy is doing. So when he went there, when they go to the armory, he took the anti-air gun. It's a big gun, man. It's Zu-23 or ZKO. The guy said, where are you taking this thing? Because it's a very big, like, at the back, it looks like a tractor, but in front is 2 barrels. So, he said, no, mnumuzile commander kututi. Ute, omunye nomunye athathe isibhamu lesi somuyisha. Saba samuletha abuye. Manje sami isibhamu nasi. Help me to take it up. Not to be pulled by the truck. So they mounted it and make it balanced, whatever logistic it came to be. So it is saving around 50,000 bullets like this because it's for the aeroplane. One bullet burn almost around 10 meters square.
Is it those?
Yes, 2,000 degrees Celsius. So they went. And when they reach that ambush space like Mahoba's Kloof, so another soldier, they said it's Dragon, it's one of the commanders from Eastern Cape. Yeah, he was well formed facially. I mean, even if I can send you, say go and call Dragon there, you will not hesitate to pick him up in the middle of the...
He's a Drago.
Yeah, you see his face. It's like. So that commander threw the RPG, the bazooka, before they reached that sharp corners to check if they are there. So you throw one or two. They finally came out. They started shooting. So everyone went down of the truck. They alighted, climbed down, took cover. So that guy
Took his gun.
made sure that he climbed his gun.
The one that he wanted.
Yes, and make sure that when he die, his hands and his feet are in the gas. The gun is operating. The other guys took cover out of the cars. That guy operated that anti-air gun. You know, he pulled it to the level of, not to the air. When he was finished, he was dead. And our strategy, we lie down, we take cover. We know that when the enemy shoots, after shooting, when they are satisfied, they will come out to look for corpses. And now, when they are around 50 meters, that's where they are emitting. So unfortunately, no one came out. When they check, that guy did the job single-handedly so. But he's decided to die. He sacrificed. The reason why I want to mention this, like Solomon Mahlangu had a chance to escape because they shoot him first on the leg and the other said run away. But he took a decision to come back to fight. These are the caliber of the soldiers that we had. Injezimbi, amakomando kudala-dala, amakomando asekakula, amadela kufa. So they phoned the headquarters and then the reinforcement came. The blockage was opened. That guy brought the victory of the day, but he died there. He did not return home. He sacrificed. Even today, his bones are speaking. And now, until the sun set, and some of them, this one from the province who was there, from Mopani, and then they felt the smell of the meat. They thought it was the enemy supply. When they were searching the enemy bases, there was a good smell of fried meat there. In the darkness, the other one threw his hand and grabbed some meat. Hey, unenyama. They eat them. In the morning, they find out that they ate a human being who was burned by those bullets. So, let me come home now. That was the Angolan stories and the skirmishes that, you know Dambuza. Dambuza entered more than 40 times here through Messina and in Asachuca, Mozambique. Now he took Swaziland, fighting, breaking the settlement after one another. Re bolela ka bo Chuck Norris ba rena e seng film ya o actiwa ya bo Chuck Norris.
One man.
Even if he was with others, but we have 18 living heroes of those skirmishes in the province. Now, do you remember the Ingwa Vuma story? in Guavuma. It was in the headline long times ago when
Nagli 2K.
okay, Bota wanted to give a piece of land to Muswati on our expense. That Muswati have to arrest us or call them to kill us. So Oliver Tambo said, I'm not going to give an inch of a land. So he sent Bani Mulokwana as a commander and a Dambuza, their units. And the majority of them are from Limpopo. They closed, there was a military base this side and a police station this side. It was a 15 minutes job. The Ingwavuma story was closed down by those commanders. I remember when one of the generals who narrated the story of that, when he talked about the bazooka man of the day who was operating, when he hit a flat, a barracks, it was torn into two. He said, I saw the building dancing. The bazooka man is still alive. He's in Guyana now. Of that scene.
We are not moving.
Yes.
And I'm no longer in control of this
Okay.
interview.
So, those sacrifices, all of them, like the Operation Water Sponge, yeah, for another day. 1994 came. But before that, I'm asking to explain this. This is my view. It's not a political class. It's not from the political class. I think the time Britain started issuing the scholarships under the South African Extension Unit, they said the South African have lost the academic year in 1976. And we send our cream there. And we used to say we have a government in waiting. Not knowing that the Anglo-Saxon, the globalists, those who are in control of this world order, have prepared a curriculum to drill the South Africa they want, not the one we are fighting for. Because most of the laws that the ANC have passed, even we who are sitting in the political classes every day, we are also surprised.
You are saying your Lionel Messi's and Ronaldo's that you picked to go get an education so that they can rule this country. They were given an education that suits the narrative of the West.
That's right. That's why we end up in a Western democracy. They say we have the best constitution in the world. But when you look at it, let's speak the truth. Is it working for us or for them? Our laws, our rights, they mostly serve the United Nations. These programs and the other globalist programs, they are not benefiting us. And most of these rights, they hold the hands of the law enforcement agencies to enforce law in society.
They even marry the DA.
No, let me not reach there. So, when they return those students, most of them, they find that the original leaders like Oliver Tambo were aging. Wonkovi and the others were aging and they were young men. Utabombeki, know that group. Yeah. But they were fed with the Western education. So when the Soviet Union fell, unfortunately, in 1994, we landed in the unipolar world. And as the experience that we gathered in exile, so we tried to comply to their standard so that they must invest and our economy must grow. But when I check, do we have an economy as black people here? Do we have an economy? I'm asking.
Or the economic system, who benefits from the current economic system that we
The very democracy, this one that was delivered to us, is not benefiting the majority of the black people. It's still benefiting those white capital monopoly guys.
But what you are saying right now
Eh,
is what the current MKP is echoing. You are agreeing with the controversies of Jacob Zuma.
I disagree. Because he was given a time to rule. Most of these guys who are in MK party, especially in the province, the leaders, they benefited from the ANC. Like those commanders, I can't mention their name. The other one is in the legislature. They were given a farm.
Besides benefiting,
Yes. Okay.
Now we are no longer interviewing, we are arguing. You and me.
Okay.
We are ending on a high note.
Yes, they are saying this democracy is true.
They are
It's
agreeing.
not-
You are agreeing with them.
It's not the one we fought for. Yes, I agree with them. But
Let's put it on record. You are agreeing with uMkhonto Sizwe that exists. Right?
when they mention the statement, in mentioning the statement, but not in action, because there are those who speak the East and do the West during the day.
The current uMkhonto Sizwe says they want to correct the wrongs that the ANC they know has done.
By recognizing Morocco as revolutionaries. You get my point.
I just want to check if MKVA,
There are-
MKVA
Okay,
of the
let me-
ANC is.
Let me put it this way. There are those people who call themselves revolutionaries, who issue good revolutionary statements, but who are not genuine. During the time of Zuma, they will pronounce good projects like the Agri-Park projects, for an example, because I was one involved with it. 2 billion was allocated for the Agri-Parks. Go and check, was there a single Agri-Park that was built? And that program was going to change the life of black farmers. No Agri-Park was built, but the money is gone.
Prof, allow me to do this. From you, Mr. Maakana, I think there's a lot of episodes. What I'm interested in, we're going to do an episode with you about the historic settlements in Mopane, what influenced them, where you see Balobedu, the Tsonga people. But I think we'll also have an episode where we discuss the current political environment and economic environment.
Let me go to the Bible. David wanted to build a temple for God. And God said, highway, not you. Your hands are full of blood. You can't build a temple for me. So there are those who want to implement the NDR, ne? The National Democratic Revolution, because we had two documents, the NDS and the NDR. The National Democratic Struggle that we won, yes, that delivered this fake democracy. Because, yeah, we are able to vote, but the system is not working for us.
Hence,
So, the NDR is about the economic freedom, where now we have to win the means of production. So, these guys are saying that they want to implement the radical economic transformation. Mara, when we look at them, when Zuma took over, I'm saying this without fear. Mbeki left South Africa with a lot of reserve of money. South Africa was not bankrupt when Zuma took over. Zuma, the revolutionary. Ne? Even the orphans and the creches, they were receiving better subsidies. Their subsidies were not cut off. Ne? When Zuma took over, and he took over, now the money for the offense disappeared.
Maakana,
When he left, there was no cent in the account.
today, we were introducing you to our viewers.
Sure.
There'll be a time, like for instance, our producer here has published a paper
Okay.
implementing the National Democratic Revolution in local government through GNU post 30 years of democratic dispensation.
Okay.
So I'm saying that I think we need a fresh episode
Yeah.
to reflect on this thing.
Okay.
We wanted to introduce you.
Okay.
And I think this is the longest interview I've ever done in my life.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of wisdom and information from you. And that if we don't archive, we're going to be doing injustice to ourselves. I want us to go refresh our minds. Then when we come, and even the doctor will also be part of the discussion, we come and discuss the current socio-economic environment we have in right now. We come and discuss the current politics and also the politics of MKP that you agree with, together with that one of the EFF you just mentioned right now. So I want you just to have a parting shot. You're not discussing politics here. You're just telling the viewers of, I'm giving you this scenario. That's why if you were right now with President Cyril Ramaphosa in a small room, the two of you, and he says, Maakana, please advise me.
Okay.
What would you say?
Number one, I will tell him to stop begging America. Begging Trump. Because this globalist, you must understand that what happened to us here in South Africa is not for the first time. What is happening is a formula. It happened in Ghana, whatever, this new colonialist system that we are in. You get my point. Where we win political power, but they control the economic means. You get my point. So if they give us tariffs because we are in BRICS, and then you still go and beg them, they never liked you.
Okay, first, he must stop begging.
Yeah, he must stop begging.
Second, if there
Second, South Africa ne, have a lot of potential economical. Do you know that South Africa does not end in Eastern Cape and Cape Town?
I don't know.
Our borders.
I don't know.
South Africa and in Antarctica. We have a land in that continent there. And that continent, 6 months is ice. And when summer comes, 6 months the ice melt and there is a water. And we are counted amongst the water scarce countries. The reason why I cry.
Tell him. Tell the president.
Yes. So this political system, the whole political system, the parliament, there are discussions is about the presidency. This one did corruption and that one. There is no developmental topics that I ever heard from our parliament.
So you would advise the president to now reshape the discussion.
Yes. We talk about the development of our land can supply and create jobs. For an example, here in Limpopo, we have the mineral reserve. We are the richest province with mineral reserves here in Limpopo. But we are called the poorest province. We're even unable to open an abattoir because of these rascals, politicians.
That's your comrades.
A comrade.
You are calling them rascals.
A comrade does not steal. Let's describe things by their names. Anyone who steals is not a comrade. Anyone who abuses power, like the one who gives Zimbabweans tenders, especially of the houses of the military veterans, where they have never given even a single contract of one military veterans to build our houses and give them to foreigners to build our houses. We sacrifice. Regile lactogen ka rice. Akaija yena lactogen ka rice.
Yowi.
Liangushisha. Unoba uri lo tse dingwe ke no tshaba o roana mara there's no better way
Ke khopela re di etjatsi la o roana.
Yeah, no, talidia ka nnete ke talibitja ka line. So, what I can advise the president, number one, by the virtue that we have minerals, we have jobs. What we can do, we can encourage our youth to register companies. And then we get the human resource in mining to help these youth so that they mine the minerals in their communities and have the processing if it need be. Like in my village where we get gold by digging kamohoma. And that gold itjwa yo botšitše. Mara re na metsi. Wa nkwešiša. Ba khatile le transformer ba re masepala o kolota Eskom mara re ne gauta. Jale nna ke re no President Ramaphosa di-mineral tša ka kua mafarana ko. A ba re fe tšona re di šomise as a capital. Re lokiše mašimo yale ya rena ka gore we are in a Letsetele Valley. The whole of South Africa eat Letsetele Valley in winter. Ka gore na rena frost. In green vegetables. And even that window, we don't benefit from it. So we took that money, ra lokisha infrastructure. I'm just giving you a pilot project to give you an example on how can we create jobs. Giving an example by my village, the other side of the mountains is gold and copper and other minerals. Because what is mined in Palabra, all of it is in my village. Iron ore is iron ke maswika ya ka mori a itropa ebile ne siema sauri ungabi homu ingwidi imaka kuta itropa because that rock, even the small one, is very heavy. So those minerals in our village, we can use them as a capital. Anyone want to open the business must get a loan from it. And then we are situated in R521 road, 9 road, less than hour to Eco Caves, Blede Refuge, Kruger Gate. That means in tourism, we are there. We have the mountains, bird watching. In Mawabeni, we are having a mountain hiking in 16 December, Mawabeni mountain hike in my village. So, we can make a village economy by the potential of our land. We put an irrigation infrastructure, we put cold rooms, radiation rooms, pack house, and then we plant vegetables and we send them to the market because they want a cold room even to supply Pick and Pay. The soil agrees. The water is there. So when we put the infrastructure, everyone could. We have many families who are backyard farmers who have taken their children to school. They are backyard farmers because there is no water, but in less than 10 kilometers, there is a river. And there is a canal, a very big canal of water. We just need water, for example. So,
I think it's a lot you can tell the president right now. And as the president is in control, I want to be in control of this interview
okay.
in the studio. You're going to be our source of direction and wisdom. This is not the last time. And I think the parting shot, which is the title of this episode, you don't remain a comrade when you start stealing.
You are not a comrade.
You are not a comrade, you are a thief.
And you belong to jail.
Thank you for listening to Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino.
Can I say my last saying? It's a sentence, it's not a paragraph.
Please say it.
I refuse to leave the legacy of unemployed. I did not drop out of the College of Education to have the rate of unemployment today while we are living in the land of potential. And these guys, they stole money and go invest in Dubai instead of investing the money here in the country.
Your comrades.
Yes, these ones who call them revolutionaries, call themselves revolutionaries.
Thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino. Now we step into another territory. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm tired. Hey, the producer is Dr. Pap Mabota. Sound guy, Nene, Nascent. Thank you for doing sound engineering for us. The graphics, States and Banda Styles, they are also in the background. The camera crew, who make sure that they set up the camera well, Philip Strott and Peter Salvin. Thank you for being part of our team.